Welcome to the breakdown. Hey there. So, if you don't already know, my name is Prince Charles Crensel, and I have a podcast, The Brave and Devoted BAD Man, the Bad Man with Prince Charles Crensel. Yes, me. And what I do, I talk about everything God, love, life, everything in between, whatever God lays in my heart, I share it. And most of them are birthed from my own experiences, the encounters I have had, and things that I've been through, and the understanding of the perspective I'm living with, or the understanding that I'm living with right now, however you want to call it. Yes. So what we are doing with this is to sort of um, break down the things I said in my podcast. My podcast is very straight to the point, and I felt the need to not explain myself, but to create another avenue, another how do I call this? Whatever. I still haven't found a name for it. Oh my God. To create another avenue, right? Let's just put it that way, where I can sort of take it line by line, the things that I said, and just share what inspired those things, or just basically say something more, add a little extra to it without having to worry, without having to mess up the flow of the podcast. And so that's what I'm calling this the breakdown, where we go into just a little bit more detail, just add a little bit to it. I love how the podcast is. Like I said in the first episode, it's straight to the point. I love it just the way it is, but I just wanted to keep. I love to express myself, so this is just another way to just express, to express myself. All right. So we spoke. We are basically on the first episode, which is legacy. Legacy. That's what we touched on. Please, I'll leave the link in the description. I'll put it somewhere on the video so you could watch the previous episode, like watch the first episode, then you would understand where how the flow is. Basically, what would you be remembered for, your life on earth? What I believe legacy should represent, and the things that we should consider when we think about legacy as well. All right. Okay, so I'm taking it paragraph by paragraph. So today we are going to go to the second paragraph. Leaving a legacy is like going on a trip to a place where there is no phone service, no way for your dependents and loved ones to reach you. So you strategize with different scenarios and prepare things down for them to gain access to when you leave. You tell them there is food in the fridge, money in the fake cookie jar. I don't even know where I got that from. And there is emergency money in that secret place in the closet. You leave emergency numbers on the fridge. You leave normal things, emergency secret things, all of that. And you basically plan and prepare for everything because you will be completely out of reach. So you leave behind not just rules, but resources, provision, different scenarios with different ways of dealing with them weighed on your mind. And that informed your preparation process and the things to consider. And so you have different scenarios and everything. Okay, so you're asking why this illustration? I mean, Christ used parables to always, get his point across. So, I mean, I'm trying to follow Christ here, man. Why shouldn't I? like really, why shouldn't I? But anyway, that's besides the point. You know, I don't know if this is like the best story, but that was the best I could come up with in that moment. But the main idea here was trying to get you to think about time. Okay, how precious time is. That is, when you say there's a time for everything. I believe if you're familiar with the Bible scriptures, you may know this book in the Bible, Ecclesiastes. It's a mouthful. I literally practice like 1,000 times just to say it right. And it's chapter 3 talks about there's a time for everything. Now, I wasn't thinking about that when I was putting this down. I was just thinking about time. But afterwards, I realized that, yes, that scripture sort of like is the same thing, talking about time, appreciating time. There's a time for everything under the sun, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to be born, a time to die. It's time for everything. So the main highlight point here is time. And I just hope this story sort of like made you understand, oh, there is a time. And if it did that, well, good. If it didn't, my God, if it didn't, well, I tried. I tried. So that's it. When I think about time, I'm thinking about the fact that I do not have all the time in the world. as you grow, when you're young and you're growing up, you have this illusion, you have this perception. I don't know if it's an illusion, but you have this mindset where you're like, I have all the time in the world. But I realize it's not so. You don't have all the time in the world. What you have is today, right here, right now, in this moment, because that is all that's guaranteed where you are now. You know, one day in church, our senior pastor made a statement, and a statement that I have been making for years. And when he said that, I was like, there was a deep connection right there. I knew I was in the right place. Here's the thing. I always tell my wife, I'm living each day like it was the last day I would ever see it in. I'm living each day like it was the last day we'd ever see each other. Like, I'm trying to make sure that each day is maximized to the point where I'm living like it was my last. You know, and I try to do that every single day. Like, what I want to say, the things I want to do, the thoughts I want to have. Like, if this was the last day, like, I'm trying to live that way. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not thinking about my future, but what it implies is that thinking about my future, I'm making the most out of today. That is what that statement means to me. When our senior pastor said that, it really, I hadn't heard it anywhere. Maybe I heard it somewhere. I can't remember, but I started having that mindset, and that kind of like was motivating me. And so having that at the back of my mind, you know, living each day like it was the last, you know, the last day. And I would tell her, like, last day I would see her, you know, or, you know, talk to her. I believe that that statement um, really makes you appreciate time. It's about time, making the most of it out of time, the time you have today, making sure that you're maximizing the moment and not pushing things and procrastinating. And that is what I was trying to accomplish with this story here. When we approach life and we consider time, and we realize that time is not on our side, time is not on anyone's side. Time is neutral. It just flows. Okay, it doesn't take sides. But we can make the most out of it. When you live your life knowing, consciously saying, I don't have all the time in the world, you realize that there's certain mistakes you don't make. And there's certain you it removes the pettiness from your life. Personally, that's what it has done for me. I'm not saying that you're living your life not enjoying little things. That's literally what I'm saying. Living your life, enjoying the little things, the big things, the everything around you, taking everything in, all in. Oh, that's another series we're having in church. Man, I can't believe it. Almost everything I'm saying is like sort of like trying to get me there, but yeah, that's good. So basically, that's just what it is. If you want to have a lasting legacy, you have to respect time. If you want to have a legacy that's going to transcend time, you need to respect time. If you can't respect time, your legacy will not transcend time, because you need to respect things. The things you respect and cherish will work for you. And when you respect time and give what is due time, due diligence, you give time whatever it is that time requires of you. You put in the effort, you put in the work, you put in all the things that you need to put in. You realize that time, over time, time gives you so much back, and your legacy can go beyond and transcend beyond generations, even far beyond what you ever, what your mind, what you think you could ever reach, what you think you can reach. So I would love to leave you with a scripture about time. Okay, and Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. Let me read it. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. There's a time to invest into yourself, and there's a time to invest into others. And that is where your legacy begins. You start going beyond yourself. God bless you. Thank you for joining me today.